Except you've been living under a rock these past few years, you've probably seen the disturbing video where Diddy beat up his then-girlfriend Cassie and tossed her around like a rag doll. Even though the lawsuit was settled in under 24 hours, suspiciously fast, word on the street is that Cassie may be taking the stand. And one of the bombshells she's expected to drop is that she was drugged shortly before that incident, while she was with both Diddy and Meek Mill. Diddy's in deep, and now Meek Mill's name is getting dragged into it too. Let's get to it. Allegations of drugging. The drugging allegations were a major piece of Cassie's lawsuit and have shown up in other cases against Diddy too. According to her, Diddy would supply her with all kinds of substances: ecstasy, coke, GHB, ketamine, weed, and alcohol, often until she was so faded she needed IV fluids to recover. These allegations were especially connected to what the lawsuit called freak-offs, these elaborate sexual events that supposedly involve drugs, sex workers, and filming. Cassie claimed Diddy forced her to participate in these sessions, using drugs to keep victims compliant. These freak-offs have become central to the legal cases against Diddy, with prosecutors later connecting the 2016 hotel incident to one of these events, saying Cassie was trying to escape a freak-off when she got assaulted. The lawsuit gets specific about different times Diddy allegedly drugged her during their relationship. In September 2007, Diddy supposedly handed Cassie an X-pill during a car ride, which she says was her first time with the drug and something she wasn't trying to take. During another trip to Miami, Diddy allegedly got her on so many drugs that she was more zooted than ever before and then had with her. By 2008, according to her claims, Diddy had put Cassie onto a lifestyle where drugs were always around. The lawsuit says he was hooked on prescription painkillers and popping X on the regular during this time. The connection between the 2016 hotel incident and these drugging allegations is major. While the video itself doesn't show any drug use, prosecutors have straight up said that the assault happened when Cassie was trying to bounce from a freak-off, which suggests she was probably under the influence at the time, given how these events supposedly went down. Multiple sources quote prosecutors saying that both Cassie and a sex worker were trying to leave one of these freak-offs when the assault happened. According to one report, prosecutors have linked the 2016 hotel incident to one such event, claiming Ventura was trying to escape a freak-off when assaulted. The lawsuit details how these freak-off events were allegedly set up, and it's wild. They reportedly needed serious planning, booking hotel rooms, arranging travel, and bringing in supplies like over 1,000 bottles of baby oil, with cleanup crews handling the aftermath. These events were supposedly recorded without consent, with the recordings potentially used as leverage to keep victims quiet, which fits with how the hotel footage disappeared. The drugging allegations aren't just in Cassie's lawsuit. As more people have stepped forward, a pattern has emerged. According to the Washington Post, at least 68 of the 78 plaintiffs suing Diddy mentioned drugs, with claims about spiked drinks or forced drug use. For example, Joy Dickerson-Neal claimed Diddy drugged and raped way back in 1991 and recorded it. Another accuser, Crystal McKinney, alleged he forced her to perform oral sex in 2003 after drugging her. Adria English claimed she got drugged and was told to have sex with guests at Diddy's famous white parties in the 2000s. Thalia Graves alleged she was drugged in 2001, with the assault recorded and shown to others. Several anonymous men have also claimed they were drugged by Diddy between 2019 and 2020 at an NYC hotel or his Hamptons crib. These allegations of drugging and sexual assault eventually caught the attention of the feds, leading to a major move in March 2024, when federal agents raided Diddy's cribs in Los Angeles and Miami. During these raids, they reportedly seized drugs, over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube, and 3 AR-15s with the serial numbers scratched off, providing physical evidence backing up some of the allegations. When questioned about this unusual quantity of baby oil, Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, offered a somewhat surprising explanation. He suggested that Diddy, like many Americans, simply buys household items in bulk.
I mean, he has a big house, he buys in bulk. You know, I think they have Costco's in every place where he has a home. I mean, have you sat in a parking lot of a Costco and see what people walk out of there with?
The investigation led to Diddy getting locked up in September 2024. On September 16, 2024, he was indicted on 3 charges: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, covering 2009 to 2018, and transportation to engage in prostitution, covering 2009 to 2024. The indictment, filed in the Southern District of New York, was straight damning. It claimed that Diddy ran a criminal enterprise through companies like Bad Boy Entertainment and Combs Enterprises, involved in trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. The racketeering conspiracy count alleged that Diddy organized freak-offs, distributed drugs like coke and ketamine, and used violence to make sure people complied, from 2008 to now. trafficking count specifically claimed he recruited and forced a victim, called Victim 1, into commercial sex acts using force, fraud, or coercion from 2009 to 2018. The third count, transportation to engage in prostitution, alleged that Diddy moved victims across state lines for prostitution. This count got expanded in a January 2025 superseding indictment to include 2 more victims, and in an April 2025 superseding indictment, the timeline was stretched to 2024. It's important to notice how the federal charges line up with what Cassie initially claimed. Many legal experts have said that Cassie's lawsuit basically set up the federal case, with her detailed accounts of abuse, drugging, and coercion providing a blueprint for the prosecutors. Diddy has pleaded not guilty to all charges and is currently locked up in Brooklyn. Multiple requests for bail have been shot down, with prosecutors saying he might threaten witnesses and victims. His trial kicked off on May 5th, 2025, with opening statements set for May 12th, and is expected to run for about 2 months. In a big win for the prosecution, a judge ruled in April 2025 that the 2016 surveillance video of Diddy assaulting Cassie can be used as evidence in the federal trial, even though the defense claimed the video had been tampered with. This ruling shows how important the video is in establishing the pattern of abuse that prosecutors are talking about. The defense strategy seems to be trying to paint Diddy's activities as consensual, with his lawyers describing him as a swinger rather than a criminal. But prosecutors are emphasizing the coercion aspect, especially with the alleged drug use and victim testimonies. Diddy's legal team has consistently called the lawsuits a money grab and denied the broader allegations of misconduct. As of May 9th, 2025, jury selection for Diddy's trial is going down. Reports from the courtroom say Diddy looks nervous, with many potential jurors already knowing about the case from social media and having seen the Cassie assault video. This high level of public awareness creates challenges for both sides in finding an unbiased jury. The impact of these allegations and the ongoing trial has been massive. Brands in cities like New York and Miami Beach have cut ties with Diddy, showing the public and corporate fallout from the scandal. The music industry has been forced to deal with questions about power, abuse, and who knew what. For Cassie, this whole experience has obviously been traumatic. In October 2024, reports came out that she was hurt by baby oil jokes related to the trial and was taking a break after new lawsuits left her crying. Despite all this, her decision to speak up has been praised for its bravery, with her lawyer saying that the gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Mr. Combs. The case has also had wider effects on conversations about abuse and accountability in the entertainment industry. Cassie's lawsuit is widely seen as a turning point, sparking what some have called a #MeToo music reckoning. The sheer number of accusers, over 70 lawsuits as of May 2025, suggests a pattern that can't be dismissed as just a few isolated incidents. From a legal perspective, the New York Adult Survivors Act, which made Cassie's lawsuit possible by opening a look-back window for similar claims, has proven to be crucial for addressing historical abuses. This legal tool has allowed many victims to seek justice for allegations that would otherwise have been time-barred. These allegations from Cassie were only the beginning of her lawsuit drama with Diddy. Cassie's lawsuit and assault. Cassie Ventura, who most of y'all know just as Cassie, first linked with Sean Diddy Combs back in 2005 when she was only 19 and Diddy was 37. Their professional relationship began when Diddy signed Cassie to his label, Bad Boy Records, for her debut in 2006. If you was outside back then, you definitely remember Cassie from her hit Me and You that was banging in every club. What started as a business move turned personal, with them dating on and off from around 2007 to 2018. On the gram and in the media, they looked like another power couple doing their thing, flexing on vacations, hitting up industry events, the usual celebrity relationship stuff with the breakups and makeups. But according to what came out later, behind closed doors was a whole different vibe, one that wouldn't come to light until they called it quits for good. The real bombshell dropped in November 2023 when Cassie filed a lawsuit against Diddy that had everybody talking. This lawsuit, filed under the New York Adult Survivors Act, came with some serious allegations: physical abuse and trafficking during their relationship. For those who don't know, the New York Adult Survivors Act was clutch here because it opened a window for victims to sue for sexual abuse even if the statute of limitations had expired. The allegations in this lawsuit were mad detailed and straight up disturbing. Cassie claimed that Diddy had complete control over her life, using his position as her boss to keep her trapped in a toxic, abusive relationship. She talked about physical assaults, being forced into sexual situations, and including details about a 2016 hotel incident that would later be backed up by that infamous video footage. The details from the lawsuit paint a grim picture, no cap. Cassie alleged that Diddy Owen punched, beat, kicked, and stomped her, leaving her with bruises, busted lips, black eyes, and bleeding. She claimed these beatdowns happened regularly, and that Bad Boy Entertainment staff and employees witnessed it but didn't step in. Besides the physical abuse, the lawsuit had some wild allegations about abuse too. Cassie claimed Diddy forced her to get down with male workers during what he called freak-offs, these drug-fueled sessions that could last for days that he allegedly recorded for his own pleasure. According to her, he would be in the cut beating his meat while watching, and used threats and drugs to make sure she complied. One of the heaviest allegations was that in 2018, after Cassie thought she was done with the relationship, Diddy allegedly pulled up to her spot, forced his way in, assaulted her while she was saying no and trying to push him away, leaving her traumatized. The lawsuit also spilled tea about substance abuse and control tactics. Cassie claimed that Diddy put her onto a lifestyle of excessive drinking and drug use, making her cop illegal prescriptions to feed his habits. She said he supplied her with opiates to maintain control over her starting around 2008. There were some wild intimidation tactics described too. Cassie alleged that Diddy made her carry his strap in her purse to show how dangerous he was and to keep her on edge. She also claimed he chased down a rival industry exec with a burner and blew up some dude's whip after finding out the guy was feeling Cassie. According to the lawsuit, Diddy controlled Cassie's career and personal life since 2005, making sure she couldn't bounce. When she tried to leave, his network of companies and people would track her down, with employees warning that if she didn't fall in line, her whole entertainment career would be toast. And in some classic manipulation, after violating her, Diddy would allegedly shower Cassie with expensive GIs to keep her loyal and quiet. You know, that typical abuser playbook. When the lawsuit first dropped, Diddy wasn't having it. Through his lawyer, Ben Brafman, he called the allegations offensive and outrageous, but in a move that had everybody raising eyebrows, the lawsuit got settled just one day after filing, for an amount nobody knows. The settlement was mutual, with Diddy not admitting guilt, which is standard in these situations. After settling, Cassie released a statement to the New York Times saying, "With the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I have experienced and that I will be recovering from for the rest of my life." While that quick settlement might have looked like the end of the drama, it was really just the beginning. Cassie's allegations got some serious backup in May 2024 when CNN came through with that surveillance footage from 2016 that matched up with one of the specific incidents she described in her lawsuit. That footage was straight up disturbing, no cap. It showed Diddy rocking nothing but a towel, chasing Cassie down a hallway, grabbing her by the neck, slamming her to the ground, kicking her twice, and trying to drag her back to the room. You can see Cassie picking up a hotel phone, probably trying to get help, before Diddy shoves her into a corner and throws something at her. This whole scene went down at the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City, Los Angeles on March 5th, 2016, and matched up exactly with what Cassie had said in her lawsuit. She claimed Diddy was faded, had punched her earlier giving her a black eye, and then came at her when she tried to bounce. The lawsuit also claimed that after this incident, Diddy dropped $50,000 to get his hands on the security footage, which mysteriously disappeared from hotel servers within days, suggesting he was trying to cover his tracks. Hotel security supposedly told Cassie to leave ARCing the assault, which means other people knew what was going down. When this video hit the internet, the whole game changed. It was undeniable proof that at least one of Cassie's allegations was 100% fact, which made people start believing her other claims too. The public reaction was immediate. Everybody was riding for Cassie. On X, what used to be Twitter, posts about the video went super viral. One user with almost 600K views said they were shocked seeing Diddy punch and kick Cassie, adding, "I was on Cassie's side even before I saw her proof." Same energy on Reddit, where threads across different communities showed mad support for Cassie, with people questioning why it took video evidence for some folks to believe her story. One comment straight up said, "The video just made it too much to deny or play dumb on." 2 days after the footage leaked on May 19th, 2024, Diddy hopped on Instagram with an apology that was a complete 180 from his previous denials.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you gotta do that. I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted.
He continued saying,
"I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab."
And then he wrapped up with,
"Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry."
Cassie's lawyer, Meredith Firetog, wasn't buying it, saying the apology was more about himself than the many people he has hurt, and only came after his lies were exposed. People online were on the same wave, seeing the apology as weak and too late. On X, Charlemagne Tha God's take got shared mad times when he called Diddy's apology silly and said he was only sorry because the footage leaked. The video dropping and all the backlash that followed marked a major turning point, not just for Cassie's situation, but for a bigger reckoning with Diddy's behavior throughout his career. The dam had broken, and soon a whole flood of allegations would come out, showing a pattern of foul behavior spanning decades. Moving on to how this whole saga has affected many others in the hip-hop community, especially Meek Mill, whose name has been dragged into the controversy many times. Meek Mill's connection to Diddy. Meek Mill, born Robert Meek Williams, had a history with Diddy over the years. They collaborated on tracks like Cold Hearted by Meek Mill featuring Diddy and I Want the Love by Puff Daddy featuring Meek Mill. They were also connected socially, with Diddy throwing a crazy birthday bash for Meek Mill back in 2014 at the Parisian Palace in Las Vegas, dropping a reported $25,000 just on the venue. But as Diddy's legal troubles started piling up, Meek found himself getting dragged into the mess in ways that he strongly denied and actively fought against. The connection mainly comes from a lawsuit filed by producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones against Diddy in February 2024. Jones, who worked on Diddy's 2023 album, The Love Album Off the Grid, hit Diddy with a lawsuit claiming sexual harassment, assault, drugging, and trafficking, looking for $30 million in damages. In the 73-page complaint, Jones claimed that Diddy told him he had relations with two redacted individuals, described as a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj and an R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl. Since Meek Mill is from Philly and used to date Nicki Minaj until they split in 2016, the streets immediately started connecting dots and pointing fingers at him. The lawsuit didn't name Meek directly, but the description was specific enough to get the rumor mill spinning, especially on social media. Meek wasn't having it and clapped back with the quickness. On February 28, 2024, he hit up X, formerly Twitter, denying everything, saying, "No man would ever approach me about gay activity," and called out media outlets for spreading speculation. He was particularly heated about how the gossip was affecting his family, mentioning that his 12-year-old son was confused by people claiming his dad gay. The situation got even wilder in September 2024 when an explicit audio recording supposedly featuring Diddy and Meek Mill getting it on surfaced, and then blew up again after Diddy got arrested. Meek Mill said the audio was fake or AI generated, writing on X on September 19, 2024. "They manipulated these devices so bad, I'm not with them," suggesting some kind of conspiracy against him. Reports from several sources, including Medium, indicated the audio was probably fabricated or just a joke, not the real deal. In a major flex showing how serious he was about clearing his name, Meek Mill offered $100,000 for an investigative team to find out why his name was being connected to Diddy's case. On September 23, 2024, he posted on X, "I want to hire an investigative team $100K cash to find out every specific detail involving Meek Mill name to Diddy case. I also want them to look at who is powering the media involving Meek anything to do with Buddy. Something not right." He later reportedly upped this offer to a whole milli. Meek's responses to these rumors have been heated and sometimes confrontational. His beef with media personality DJ Academics got mad attention when Academics read the lawsuit during a YouTube live stream, which had Meek telling him to stop playing with his name and even asking fans for Academics' address.
He says, "I'm gonna kill you, Academics, and what I'm gonna do is," he says, first things first, he says, "Someone send me Academics' address."
He said, "I'll die to shut you down."
Yeah, then he says, "I'm going to die to do it." Then it was so ironic.
Which is crazy. Which is a crazy thing to say. Meek he's cut it out. You're not gonna die to shut down Academics.
This led to Academics claiming police were called to his crib, showing how tense things got over these allegations. While Meek Mill has maintained that his relationship with Diddy was strictly business, that 2014 birthday party has become a hot topic. A video dropped in November 2024 by Daily Mail showing some wild behavior at the party, including cocaine, broken bottles, bloodstained sheets, and masked dancers, with Diddy allegedly wasted. Meek Mill has denied that Diddy hosted the party, calling media coverage a war on black men, reflecting his view that the allegations are part of a bigger attempt to bring down successful black men in the industry. As Diddy's legal troubles got more serious with his arrest and upcoming trial, Meek Mill clearly started distancing himself from Diddy. In November 2024, he publicly used the phrase "no Diddy" in a video, showing the relationship was done amid all the legal drama. This distancing was even more obvious when he unfollowed Diddy on Instagram in May 2024, along with others like Young Miami after the assault footage of Cassie dropped. Despite putting space between them, Meek has shared some mixed feelings on the situation. In November 2024, he reportedly posted, "They putting black men in jail off stories. I wish Puff well he's a black man. I hope he didn't do most of that they saying he did," while throwing shade at others who ghosted Diddy completely. This comment got him some heat, with people saying he was downplaying Diddy's alleged abuse toward women. These rumors have definitely impacted Meek's career and personal life. On social media, especially Reddit, the discussions are all over the place. Some users are riding for him, saying the rumors ain't got no receipts and blasting media for being messy, while others are clowning him or side-eyeing his strong denials. The situation has even sparked some wild conspiracy theories, like connecting Meek Mill's March 2nd, 2014 car accident to Diddy, with some people suggesting Diddy might have been trying to silence him, though there's no real evidence for any of that. The Meek Mill situation shows the wider impact of the Diddy scandal on the whole hip-hop community and entertainment industry. Many artists who had professional or personal connections with Diddy have had to figure out how to deal with these associations, often leading to public distancing or straight-up denials. Dawn Richard, who used to be in Danity Kane, has claimed that Diddy was hostile toward women, starved her and kept her from sleeping, and acted predatory toward Cassie. Kid Cudi confirmed Diddy's threat to blow up his whip, adding to the stories of abusive behavior. These revelations have got a lot of industry people questioning why they stayed quiet or went along with things for so long. The allegations against Diddy have also started bigger conversations about power dynamics in the music industry. The sheer number of lawsuits, over 70 as of May 2025, suggests this isn't just a few isolated incidents, but a systemic problem. Many of these lawsuits describe similar patterns: drugging, coercion, and using industry power to keep victims quiet. This case has especially highlighted how vulnerable young, aspiring artists are in the music industry. Many of Diddy's accusers were teenagers or in their early 20s when the alleged abuse went down, often just starting their careers and depending on his influence and connections. Sarah Rivers claimed Diddy gave her a possibly laced drink and assaulted her during a Making the Band audition, showing how people trying to break into the industry could get exploited while chasing their dreams. The scandal has also made people think about the role of enablers and people who just stood by. Rihanna Bongolan alleged she witnessed Diddy's abuse of Cassie, including bruises and a black eye, and got threatened herself. This raises questions about the responsibility of those in Diddy's circle who might have seen the abuse but stayed quiet, whether out of fear, being complicit, or looking out for themselves. Legal experts have pointed out how important the New York Adult Survivors Act was in making many of these lawsuits possible. This legislation, which opened a look-back window for victims to sue despite expired statutes of limitations, has been crucial in letting these cases come forward. Without this legal move, many of Diddy's accusers might never have been able to take him to court. As Diddy's trial moves forward, with jury selection starting on May 5th, 2025, and opening statements set for May 12th, the music industry is still dealing with the aftermath. Brands and corporate partners have cut ties with Diddy. His business moves have taken L's, and his legacy is permanently damaged. The Diddy saga is still unfolding, with the trial expected to run for about 2 months. The outcome will not only determine Diddy's fate, but might also shape how the entertainment industry handles issues of power, abuse, and accountability going forward. Brand new party footage has surfaced, showing none other than Diddy, Kim Kardashian, and LeBron James together. And trust us, this doesn't seem good at all.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these shits. All you fake hard niggas, fuck you.
I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed.
From rumors about Kim K being involved in hidden sex tapes to LeBron's name being linked to Diddy's infamous freak-offs, this footage could unravel everything. Not to worry, we're breaking it all down in this video, so let's get started. The party footage. You've probably been hearing a lot about Diddy's infamous parties recently. We're talking about those exclusive star-studded parties where cameras are typically a no-no and almost everything goes down. If you are new to the whole Diddy scandal, well, these parties have now been revealed as freak-offs, where participants engage in the most depraved sexual acts, whether willingly or not. Now, there's footage that confirms Kim Kardashian and LeBron James may have attended one or several of these freak-offs, but here's where it gets even juicier. Rumors are swirling that this footage could expose a hidden agenda involving Diddy, Kim, and LeBron, especially when you consider what's really been going on with the hip-hop mogul recently. Let's get into Kim Kardashian's involvement here. Kim's no stranger to controversy, especially when it comes to leaked footage. Her infamous sex tape catapulted her to stardom, right? But here's the conspiracy. Some sources are suggesting that the Kardashian family's close ties to Diddy might go a lot deeper than we think. You all know she was once married to rapper Kanye West, who was once close to Diddy, so seeing her at any of his parties at the time seemed pretty normal, right? However, word on the street is that there might be more unreleased tapes involved involving Kim, we're talking sex tapes that haven't seen the light of day yet. And the connection? Diddy. Some believe that Diddy may have been involved in keeping these alleged tapes under wraps, which is why Kim and her family are so tight with him. After all, Diddy is a powerful figure in both the music and media industry. He's got connections, the money, and until now, knew how to navigate even the worst PR nightmares. If there's any truth to these hidden tapes, it would explain why Kim and Diddy are always spotted together at events, parties, and social gatherings. The conspiracy goes that Diddy might be holding onto these tapes as leverage, and Kim's appearance at his party could be about more than just having a good time. Fans now suggest that Kim's decision, including her relationships and even her marriage to Kanye West, were influenced by these undisclosed recordings. The notion of Kim sacrificing her personal life, particularly her marriage to Kanye, to protect herself and her family from potential exploitation has been hinted at by users on social media. One user even said Kim may have sacrificed her husband to save herself and her family from exploitation. Some also claim Kanye deserved an apology, referencing his frequent warnings and cryptic public outbursts regarding the Kardashian-Diddy situation.
Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these all you fake hard you.
Doesn't this get you thinking? If these tapes were to ever leak, could they have the potential of not only shaking up Kim's world, but completely destroying the Kardashian empire? Let's now move to LeBron James. The basketballer has always been seen as a role model, a family man, and an all-around good guy. But this new footage has got people asking, is he as squeaky clean as we think? The theory swirling out there is that he's probably been to one or several of Diddy's freak-offs. Again, these parties are absolutely wild and involve some next-level stuff that even your favorite celebs wouldn't want you to know they attended. Now, here's where things get a little spicy. An old clip of LeBron saying, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party," has resurfaced, and it's got everyone wondering if he's been attending these freak-offs.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
In the clip, LeBron looks really comfortable talking about Diddy's parties, and some people are saying this could be proof that he's been involved in these exclusive, highly secretive gatherings. It also doesn't help that controversial images of the basketballer donning maids' outfits are also circulating, and that has got more than eyebrows raised too. Now, we're not saying LeBron's out there wilding out at these events, but the internet is quick to point out that where there's smoke, there's fire. So we've got Kim Kardashian, who might be involved in some hidden sex tapes that Diddy's kept secret. Then we've got LeBron James, who's now being linked to Diddy's freak-offs. But the big question is, could this footage really change anything? Remember, Diddy's no stranger to controversies. He's been involved in legal battles and accusations of shady business dealings, and now there are serious allegations of hosting these wild parties that celebs really don't want you to know about. So does this footage mean much in the grand scheme of things, especially now that he's being indicted and currently sits behind bars? The answer isn't clear-cut, but one thing is certain. The footage is just one of the many pieces of evidence that could expose a massive scandal involving some of the biggest names in the industry.
I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed.
If this footage truly exposes a hidden side of Diddy, we might see a domino effect where more celebs get dragged into the spotlight. People are already pointing fingers at other stars who've been seen partying with Diddy, wondering if they've also got skeletons in their closets.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're gonna make damn sure that we're right before we do that.
Remember, Diddy has been hosting these parties for years, so could celebrities who attended these parties have been in on his illegal acts? Are we about to witness a whole wave of exposés unraveling the dark sides of our favorite rappers, artists, athletes, and even politicians? We don't know yet, but one thing is certain. Keep your eyes open and stay woke, because this is surely not the end. Connection between Diddy, Kim Kardashian, and LeBron James. Ever wondered why celebrities seem to know each other so well, always at the same parties and events, all living what appears to be their best lives as colleagues? If you're one for a good conspiracy theory, you should brace yourself for this one. Now, on the surface, these friendships seem normal, right? However, have you stopped to wonder if there's more beyond the red carpets and Instagram posts? Let's start by connecting the dots between Diddy, Kim Kardashian, and LeBron James. At first glance, these three don't have a ton in common, right? Diddy is an iconic music mogul, Kim Kardashian is a reality TV star turned businesswoman, and LeBron is the undisputed king of the NBA. But if you look closely, there's been an undeniable bond between them over the years. You've probably seen Diddy and Kim pop up together at events, or LeBron is attending events where most of these celebrities hang out. But here's the big question: why? This is where the conspiracy theories start to kick in. Some folks believe their friendship goes beyond just casual hangouts. Could Diddy, with all his power in the entertainment industry, be holding some influence over Kim and LeBron? And if so, how? Well, to understand their connection, we've got to take a trip down memory lane Kardashian and look at some of the biggest scandals and controversies that have haunted both Kim Kardashian and LeBron James. Now, let's talk about Kim Kardashian's past, because her rise to fame wasn't exactly a smooth ride. We all know Kim first came onto the scene in a big way thanks to that infamous sex tape with Ray J.
Would you be where you are had there not been a sex tape?
You know, I think that's how I was definitely introduced to the world.
However, before we go into that, it's important to look at Kim's life before fame. She worked as a personal stylist to the R&B singer and actress Brandy, the sister of Ray J, in 2003. Later, Brandy's mother and manager, Sonia Norwood, alleged that in 2004, she had authorized Kim to make one and only one purchase on her American Express credit card, and that Kim and her sisters Khloe and Kourtney had incurred over $120,000 in unauthorized charges to that card. In 2006, Kardashian began working as a stylist for Paris Hilton, a childhood friend of hers. She appeared in several episodes of the reality series The Simple Life and was frequently photographed accompanying Hilton to events and parties. In fact, both were spotted at a Diddy's party in 2006, and Shiraz Hassan, a PR strategist working with Hilton, stated that at the time, Kim was ready to do whatever it takes to create a successful brand, a fact Kim herself enforced in an interview.
If you were to ask me years ago when I first started my career, I would have done anything like to be famous. I'm so open and honest about the fact that I loved being famous.
Fast forward to February 2007, and a sex tape made by Kim and Ray J in 2003 was leaked on the internet and gained national attention. At first, she filed a lawsuit against Vivid Entertainment for distributing the film as Kim Kardashian, Superstar, but later dropped it and settled for a reported $5 million, giving Vivid permission to market and sell copies of the tape. Sales from the film reportedly generated nearly $1.5 million in revenue in the first 6 weeks. It's safe to say the tape became the launch pad for the Kardashian family empire, and by then, the Kardashians were beginning to roll with the big leagues and were often seen in the company of none other than Diddy. On May 17, 2008, Kim Kardashian and Diddy were pictured together once again attending a party at Diddy's Den during the grand opening weekend celebration at MGM Grand at Foxwoods Resort and Casino in Ledyard, Connecticut. In 2009, Khloe Kardashian was seen at a white party hosted by Diddy and actor Ashton Kutcher to help raise awareness for malaria. No more held at a private residence in Beverly Hills, California. In another instance, Diddy was seen with Kourtney Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, and Andre Harrell at Harrell's 50th birthday party on October 16, 2010. In 2012, Kim was once again pictured with Serena Williams, Diddy, and Cassie at Clive Davis, and the Recording Academy's 2012 pre-Grammy Gala. The sudden friendship between the Kardashians and Diddy sure raises eyebrows, right? But it doesn't stop there. Kim's life has been littered with scandal after scandal. Let's not forget her multiple failed marriages, like the one with NBA player Chris Humphries that lasted only 72 days. Then there's the Balenciaga scandal that shook her brand in late 2022. When Balenciaga came under fire for a controversial ad campaign involving children, Kim faced backlash for not immediately condemning the brand she had close ties with. Now let's move on to LeBron James. King James, as he is widely known, is usually seen as one of the most untouchable figures in sports. On the court, he's a beast, and off the court, he's a family man with a clean reputation. But even LeBron's squeaky clean image has been tested by a few controversies over the years. First off, there have been rumors of LeBron being involved in a cheating scandal. Despite his seemingly perfect marriage to high school sweetheart Savannah, some reports have surfaced suggesting that LeBron hasn't always been faithful. The most famous of these rumors involves popular podcaster Sophia Franklin, who accused the basketballer of being a cheat.
What did LeBron James do?
LeBron James has various parties constantly where NDAs need to be signed and women are at. You didn't know that? You didn't know LeBron's a cheetah?
This came after rumors linking LeBron with Instagram model Sophia Jamora, although she denied ever being with him. Though neither LeBron nor his camp have ever acknowledged these allegations, the rumors persisted and fueled a lot of gossip. Then there's the performance-enhancing drug, PED, scandal that shook LeBron's world in 2023. Federal documents from 2013 that were finally made public in September 2023 revealed James's close friend and business partner, Ernest Mims, and LeBron's wife's former trainer, David Alexander, were both named as clients of Biogenesis, and both were named to have received illegal performance-enhancing drugs. LeBron was unknowingly investigated by the DEA during the Biogenesis probe for his ties to Mims and Alexander, but investigators concluded that he hadn't done anything illicit. However, this scandal brought to mind the accusations of former MMA star and admitted PED user Chael Sonnen, who claimed he and LeBron share the same drug guy.
If you knew what these performance enhancers did, then you would know why it does matter.
What do you think he's
there's
doing?
only one. we have the same drug guy, if you will. I know exactly what he's doing.
Sonnen even went so far as to say that LeBron is taking erythropoietin, also known as EPO, a performance-enhancing drug that disgraced former cyclist Lance Armstrong. EPO greatly boosts red blood production and allows athletes to produce at peak performance levels for long periods of time without much drop-off.
EPO matters. It's the reason LeBron takes it.
The theory goes that his incredible performance is partly due to the use of illegal substances. Of course, this has never been proven, but it's a theory that some people just won't let go of. Now, you may be wondering why this matters in the context of his friendship with Diddy and Kim Kardashian. Well, here's the thing. Diddy's been known to surround himself with people who have something to hide. As his indictment has revealed, Diddy's influence runs even deeper than we think, and it's clear he has really powerful connections. Whether he has dirt on these celebrities or helps keep their secrets under wraps, one thing is certain. These celebrities seem to remain loyal to Diddy, which is why no one has spoken out suspiciously since his arrest. Could Diddy be the key to keeping their reputations intact? And if so, what does that say about the world of Hollywood, sports, and everything as we know it? Most importantly, who is Diddy, and how is he one of the most powerful individuals in the industry? The mogul behind the scenes. Love him or hate him, you can't deny that Diddy's influence runs deep. From his early days as a producer to becoming one of the most successful moguls in hip-hop, Diddy has left a huge mark on the industry.
I'd say the secret to my success is common sense. Yeah. I know it sounds a little cliche, but you know, common sense will answer a lot of your questions.
Let's start with a little history lesson. Diddy, also known as Sean John Combs, first hit the entertainment scene in the 1990s by starting as an intern producer and talent director at Uptown Records. Shortly after being fired from Uptown in 1993, Diddy established his own label, Bad Boy Records, which entered a joint venture deal with Arista Records. That's when things really started popping off. He signed some of the biggest names in hip-hop, such as Biggie Smalls, popularly known as Notorious Big, Mace, Faith Evans, and essentially shaped the sound of 90s rap. It didn't end with music for Diddy. He was constantly pushing boundaries, setting trends, and growing a business empire. He opened a clothing and perfume line and even owns restaurants as well as major equity in the media and beverage industry. Coupled with his infamous exclusive parties, he proved to be more than just a rapper or a producer. Diddy was a mogul in every sense of the word. But here's the thing, no one rises to the top without making some enemies, and Diddy has plenty. Over the years, he's been accused of being more than just a businessman, and some even say he's a gatekeeper in the industry, controlling who gets in, who stays out, and who rises to stardom. You may be wondering, what exactly does this mean? It means he's got the power to make or break careers. He decides who gets the opportunity to shine and who gets left in the dust. A lot of artists who worked with him have claimed that Diddy's business practices are shady and that he's more interested in controlling his artists than empowering them. Take Bad Boy Records, for example. It's been home to a ton of iconic talent, but almost every artist who was signed to the label has had beef with Diddy at some point. From the Notorious Big to Mace, and even Danity Kane's Dawn Richards, many artists have accused him of withholding money, controlling their careers, and using it for his gain. In Biggie's case, Rolling Stone recently published a damning expose that revealed that the rapper was supposedly planning to leave the music exec's Bad Boy Records just before his death. Several people who were interviewed for the piece corroborated the story, stating that Combs was in a battle against the late rapper's lawyers as he was attempting to regain his publishing rights. Mace, whose presence and performances were instrumental to the early success of Bad Boy, also publicly took issue with Diddy several years ago, saying he had offered Combs $2 million for the publishing rights to his songs, but was denied, and that Diddy had been extremely unfair.
I never got paid what I was worth, and I never got the respect I was worth.
Let's not forget about Diddy's infamous Making the Band era. Sure, it gave us some entertaining TV moments and produced the girl group Danity Kane, but a lot of people see it as a perfect example of how Diddy exerts control over his artists. It's little wonder why Danity Kane's Dawn Richard has filed a lawsuit against him, alleging the hip-hop mogul sexually assaulted her, deprived her of food and sleep, and refused to pay her adequately.
As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair.
Richard also says in the lawsuit that she witnessed Diddy physically abuse his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, on numerous occasions, and also saw him and his associates engaging in illegal drugs and sexual acts with underage girls. As you probably already know, Richard is just one of the numerous people who have filed lawsuits against Diddy. One of the most infamous lawsuits tied to Diddy's name is the wrongful death lawsuit filed by the family of his former artist, notorious big relatives of the rapper rapper claimed the shooting was carried out by Los Angeles police officers moonlighting for one of the record companies. While Diddy wasn't directly involved in Biggie's murder, conspiracy theories have circulated for years that Bad Boy Records and Diddy knew more than they let on about the East Coast-West Coast beef that led to Biggie's death. Some even believe that Diddy used the feud between Biggie and Tupac to fuel record sales, not caring that someone could get hurt as things got really heated. In November 2023, Diddy's former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, filed a 35-page lawsuit against the rapper, accusing him of sexual assault, battery, and sex trafficking, and of requiring her to engage in forced sexual acts. According to her complaint, Diddy signed Cassie to his label when she was 19 and he was 37.
And the claim is that during their relationship, he was physically abusive, that he required or demanded that she perform certain sexual acts with other people while he was there, and that he in fact raped her shortly before she left him.
He went further to engage her in a sexual relationship where he was physically abusive throughout their relationship. She also claimed he demanded she carry a firearm for him in her purse and forced her to engage in sex acts with male sex workers. This would later prove to be true as former adult film star Jonathan Oddie confirmed it.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would tell me what to do with Cassie.
A day after the lawsuit was filed, both Cassie and Diddy mutually agreed to settle the case. And 4 days after filing her lawsuit, Cassie asked the court to dismiss her entire case with prejudice, which meant that her claims could not be filed again. Another infamous lawsuit is the more recent one filed by music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones against the Bad Boy Records owner in February 2024. Lil Rod accused Diddy, his son, Justin Combs, and the people working with him of being part of an illegal racketeering enterprise.
More than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way.
According to the music producer, Diddy contacted him in August 2022 to help produce some songs on his latest album, but this service would eventually go beyond producing music. He claims in the lawsuit that he was tasked with procuring drugs and soliciting sex workers to perform sex acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs. Lil Rod also alleges that Combs also required him to tape these sex acts, and that Combs would often threaten to inflict bodily harm on him if he did not comply with his demands. The music producer also claimed Diddy groomed him to participate in sexual acts with other men. He specifically mentioned veteran music producer Stevie J as well as actor Cuba Gooding Jr., claiming they wanted to have sex with him. Just recently, 120 confirmed victims assaulted by Diddy were revealed by Houston lawyer Tony Busby.
After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities.
Busby claimed some of these victims were minors, some even as young as 9 when they were sexually assaulted by Diddy.
Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of.
He also claimed the rapper used horse tranquilizer to drug most of his victims before performing these sexual acts on them.
Drugs were found in their system, weird drugs. Drugs that you probably never heard of. One in particular that continues to pop up is a drug called xylazine or trank, which based on our research is known as a horse tranquilizer.
These lawsuits paint a picture of a man who's willing to do whatever it takes to stay on top. When you add all of these with the indictment and charges he's currently facing, it appears like this may be the end of the road for the once famous mogul.
Breaking news tonight, Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul.
First off, let's talk about what this would mean for Diddy himself. While he's managed to avoid serious legal trouble over the years, an arrest means there's no running from the law anymore. If he is found guilty of the charges against him, which include sex trafficking and racketeering, it wouldn't just result in a hefty sentence. It would also unravel every single thing he has built. Bad Boy Records, his clothing line, his liquor brands, it could all come crashing down. If more people come forward with accusations or lawsuits, there is no doubt that Diddy's reputation will be permanently destroyed. But the bigger question is, what would this mean for the entire music industry? Diddy isn't just some random mogul, he's the mogul. His arrest could expose a lot of the shady dealings that go on behind the scenes in the music world. Other powerful figures might start getting nervous, wondering if they're next in line.
These people who know who they are should just come forward now. I would imagine, as we speak here, there are a myriad of people who are very nervous. You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever.
If Diddy falls, it could be the beginning of a massive reckoning in the industry, where more gatekeepers, record execs, and behind-the-scenes players get exposed for their roles in exploiting artists, controlling the narrative, and essentially abusing their power. Remember, people are already starting to point fingers. If all of these happen, it's safe to say we are about to witness the epic fall of one of the most powerful figures in entertainment. And with that, we've come to the end of this video of new party footage of Diddy, Kim Kardashian, and LeBron James that changes everything. For more thought-provoking videos like this, click on the card showing on your screen, and I'll be waiting.